You're listening to Spotlight on Business on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Once again, here's your host, Laura Smith.
Welcome back to the September edition of the Style File. And that would mean that Danny Reynolds or someone from the Reynolds family would be here.
Insert Reynolds.
Insert Reynolds, yeah. Well, I love it because, Lily is taking over your business. Not taking over, but she's the next generation to sort of carry the mantle. And she's just so special. She's
the day I don't show up here, you'll know she has taken over, fired me, and I've been eliminated from the conversation. So. I've already welcomed the opportunity.
Oh, gosh. You're like, please fire me. No, it is so great going in there. I mean, your mom has been there since 1964. She's still dressing the windows. And what I love about Lily, too, she's not just a young girl who likes clothes. No, she's an expert in it. She's a seamstress. Which you talk about an art form, really, that's from another time.
Well, it's interesting, looking back in hindsight, it almost makes it look like we were intelligent in our planning. And maybe to some extent it was there. But of course, as a young kid, we didn't know she was going to join the business. But she does have this in her blood. So she has learned her craft literally from the ground up. I mean, she understands the construction of a garment, how it's made, how it comes together, how to create it, how to alter it, how to fix it, how to make it fit. And, that's something that I never had. I mean, I can appreciate good craftsmanship. I can tell if something fits right or is well made or tailored properly. I can see that, but I don't have that fundamental understanding of how to create it. Yes. And she does. So she literally has learned this business from the ground up.
But it's wonderful because it really is. She might be the only one, in years to come that still has that part of the business behind her, not just, someone who can go to New York and pick out great things. That's awesome. Right. But she really understands the construction. That's the easy part. Although it's not an easy thing. Let's face it. I mean, here you are. You're a guy that's been going to New York for all these years and bringing back all these wonderful styles and fashions. And for men now, for how many years?
6 years for the men's department
6 years.
Yes.
I love going down there. I know that's crazy. If I could I'll just find a guy that I can, because, I'm tired.
And when you do, he is going to be the best dressed guy.
He will be.
All of Michiana, because we know how much you love shopping at 1931.
It's just, honestly, it's the clothes are so beautiful for the men as well as for the women. It's just, I just love going there and looking at all of it. But we were talking about, I'm not laughing, but Taylor Swift's going to get married, obviously.
You're laughing because of what I said off the air, but you'll have to come ask me in person what I said, because I won't say it on the air about my feelings about certain people's weddings. But
I know this is going to be, it's going to be such a huge thing, but
it's going to be a culture shifter. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, this is no choice of mine. So understand that when I talk about this, I'm not a fanboy here in the slightest. But as I said quickly going into the break, every 20 years or so, a wedding happens that shifts the culture. And if we go back to, I don't know, was it 1986 or something like that, Princess Di's gown. Most of the weddings or bridal gowns after that had this. That was the... I can never say the word voluminous. The big
voluminous,
gowns, voluminous. Thank you.
Yes, and very puffy, very princessy-like.
Ornate, yes. Ornate. Yeah, my wife's included. We got married in 1996, and so that wedding really sort of ushered in that particular style for wedding gowns. And then along comes Carolyn Bessette, who I thought was just like the picture of class. And if you don't know, and we're talking about the lady that became JFK Jr.'s wife,
yes,
who was employed at Calvin Klein in the garment center.
That's right.
Worked in our business, and she had really adopted this sort of understated, very Calvin Klein-esque style about it. Very clean, very low-key, and her wedding gown was this clean, simple Calvin Klein slip dress, which really suddenly changed the landscape for wedding gowns for the next 10 years after that one, to these clean, very just easy, simple
It wasn't about
styles.
the frills and the baubles and things like that. So if you had your guess, and I know you don't spend any time whatsoever in thinking about Taylor Swift, although you might think about what she wears because it affects your business and stuff. People want to always follow these iconic, stars. Where would your guess be, or do you have none?
I think there's probably going to be some embellishment involved. She, at her core is a bit of a Southern girl, although my Southern wife would probably
beg to
have
differ.
words about that, me saying that. And she does like some embellishment and some fashion quotient. So I think I'm not expecting a clean, easy, simple dress. I think there's going to be something to this one. Whether we get into color or print or something like that could be really interesting because those are going to be leading factors in what we see in the
color
bridal.
Or print?
Yeah, I think it's very much a possibility. But again, you're talking to somebody who really doesn't follow.
She might
this
look like a
person
can girl. Remember, like from Oliver Twist back in there, papa, some little frilly pantaloons maybe, and the low bustier kind of thing. Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see for sure. But I guess for somebody in your industry, it will affect it. And the next thing you know, the next load of bridal gowns coming off the ship are going to perhaps
they will be influenced by this wedding. There's no question.
Yes.
No question about it.
So interesting. Well,
but enough air has been spent on this person and that wedding that I think we could move on to things perhaps I feel more significant, like our big event coming up this coming week.
Yes, please talk about that. I got to go last year for the first time, and it was so special. It was really beautiful and for such a good cause.
Yes, this is without a doubt our favorite day of the year. It's the last Wednesday every September, and for us, it's United for Fashion. This is our fashion show, gala, luncheon, fundraiser for Cancer Resources of Elkhart County, formerly known as United Cancer, but changed their name to Cancer Resources 5 or 6 years ago. And just a great, great organization. Pete Norton, that's executive director over there, does a fabulous job, as does his entire team, especially when it comes to this one. Jean Barfell, giving her a big shout out. She is the director of this show, and she works so hard on putting this thing together. So I'll tell you, it's funny. We've been doing an event of this sort for a long, long time, and one evening we were having some sort of open house at the store. It was a martini night. And there were a handful of ladies there, and we were discussing that our event was coming up. And that was when the idea was born to partner with then United Cancer, because we had been doing it for the American Cancer Society. And that's a great organization, but at the time they no longer had local representation.
Right.
And then we met Pete through Jean and learned that they are a 100% Elkhart-based organization. All their money raised stays locally in our community, just like when you shop at Stephensons. And we were like, oh my goodness, what a great partner. And they have been. And I have seen firsthand the work that these people do. So when you support Cancer Resources of Elkhart County, your money is going to helping your neighbors make copays, counseling,
rides to the doctor,
whatever it might be.
Whatever they
it's
need.
Like this is firsthand kind of help here. Research is great and it needs to be done, but when we can see local and immediate results, it's just fabulous. So we've been proud to partner with them, and it's turned into such a neat show. It started in our store, if you can believe it.
Oh, really?
We've moved on to our now 4th location, which is the Crystal Ballroom, Beautiful Learner Theater. We're bursting at the seams there. This thing sells out every year. This year's no exception.
And it's a beautiful bridal. I mean, not bridal. It's a fashion show. So you're not just having the lunch and hearing speakers speak, which is always good too, but you actually get the fashion show.
It's a fashion show showing off the latest fall fashions
with
each year. And all of our models are, I've coined them true supermodels, because all of our models, there are about 25 of them this year, are all cancer survivors or walking in honor or memory of. So the most rewarding part of the show, the biggest thing is the money we raise for this organization, but the most rewarding part is seeing the relationships that are forged between these models who have gone through this fight, and they get together and realize they're not alone, and they share, for lack of a better way to put it, war stories about going through this and fighting this, and then relationships are forged. And now these ladies are going for lunch or wine throughout the year, and now they've got a team, and it's just great. And it's the most heartwarming event of the year, and that we are able to put our hands on something here in our community and help out our friends and neighbors in Elkhart County. There is nothing more rewarding than being a local business than being able to do something like that.
No, it was an absolute beautiful luncheon, and the love and the generosity that was flowing around the room was incredible, and the beautiful fashion show and all those wonderful people. It was so great. Is there still, so today is Sunday, it's in 4 days. Are any tickets left, or is it kind of closed out at this point?
I believe it's sold out. There may be single seats available here and there. If you are really, really interested in attending, please call Cancer Resources. Unfortunately, I don't have their number at hand.
Yeah, Cancer Resources of Elkhart.
Google it. You'll find them. Give them a call. Say you heard it on MNC and you want to come. And Jeannie, if she can find you a seat, most certainly will.
She will.
Yeah.
For sure. Danny Reynolds, for all you do in the community, for all you do in Washington, D.C., for all you do for all of us to stay as beautiful as we possibly can with your wonderful family. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Laura. Always fun. We'll see you next month.
See you next month. Stephensons of Elkhart since 1931, which is the name of the men's store in there, too. That's right. It's still there in the same wonderful spot. Iconic as it is, Stephensons of Elkhart. We'll see you next time. I'm Laura Smith.
If you missed any part of today's show, log on to 953mnc.com and look for the Spotlight on Business podcast. Be sure to tune in again next Sunday afternoon at 4:30 for Spotlight on Business on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
Podcasts by Federated Media.